This is a podcast from the Business Times.
Good morning. It's Friday, August 21st, 2026. From the Business Times news desk, here are your headlines. What you need to know. A large-scale Russian airstrike killed 16 people and wounded more than 40 in Kyiv. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has vowed to impose the toughest sanctions in history on Iran. China Evergrande Group founder Hui Ka Yen has been sentenced to life in prison. And Singapore and India strengthen cooperation in semiconductors, food security, and skills development. In world news, a large-scale Russian airstrike killed 16 people and wounded more than 40 in Kyiv and the surrounding region yesterday. President Volodymyr Zelensky described it as one of the most cynical, calculated, and large-scale attacks of the ongoing war. He blamed shortages of air defense missiles, which Ukraine relies on its allies to supply, for the loss of lives. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia launched dozens of cruise, ballistic, and hypersonic missiles, along with 168 drones. Nearly 90% of the drones and most of the cruise missiles were intercepted. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened economic penalties against countries that provide any type of lifeline to Iran, while U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent also vowed to impose the toughest sanctions in history on Iran, saying increased economic pressure could lessen the need for further major military operations against Tehran. In the region, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi has called on South Korea not to take sides between Beijing and Washington, while urging the U.S. to end its hostile policy towards North Korea to ease tensions on the Korean peninsula. Wang was speaking during a meeting with South Korea's National Security Advisor Ri Sung-lak in Seoul yesterday. He also held talks with President Lee Jae-myung. Meanwhile, Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, has once again accused South Korean President Lee Jae-myung of making double-dealing remarks over the U.S. decision to reduce joint military drills. President Lee had said on X that he recognized President Trump's efforts to create conditions for dialogue with North Korea by scaling back the exercises. This comes after North Korea launched more than 10 short-range ballistic missiles, which landed outside Japan's exclusive economic zone in the sea. South Korea has condemned these actions and ordered its military to remain on full alert during joint drills with the United States. China Evergrande Group founder Hui Ka Yen has been sentenced to life in prison by a Chinese court, 5 years after the property giant's collapse sent shockwaves through the country's economy and financial markets. Once Asia's richest man, Hui pleaded guilty in April to 8 charges, including fraud, misuse of funds, illegal fundraising, and bribery. Evergrande, once one of China's biggest developers, has defaulted on most of its $300 billion in liabilities, becoming a symbol of the property crisis that has continued to weigh on the world's second-largest economy. In Singapore and India are stepping up cooperation in semiconductors, food security, and skills development, following talks at the 4th India-Singapore Ministerial Roundtable held yesterday. Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim Yong said the two countries also signed agreements to strengthen collaboration in areas such as agri-food trade and maritime heritage. Water activities at Pandan Reservoir have been suspended following a crocodile sighting yesterday, as authorities search the area for the animal. PUB said it was alerted to the sighting and informed N-Parks. The water agency also told the Singapore Rowing Association and Singapore Canoe Federation to suspend all activities at the reservoir. In companies and markets, fast fashion retailer Shein is planning to launch its Hong Kong Initial Public Offering, or IPO, this upcoming Monday, and plans to list on September 1st, said sources familiar with the matter, though it could still be delayed by a few days. Shein had previously been expected to list on August 28, and the stocks we're watching include CNMC Goldmine and Jardine Cycle & Carriage, after the holding company announced today that it will sell its cycle and carriage automotive distribution and retail operations in Singapore and Malaysia to CCHPL Holdings, a wholly owned subsidiary of Indonesia's Chandra Asri Pacific. The estimated base purchase price payable in cash is around 265 million Singapore dollars. For updates throughout your day, visit bt.sg. And don't forget to check in with our daily wrap podcast, Market Focus Weekly, at 6 this evening.
This is a podcast by the Business Times. Find more BT podcasts at businesstimes.com.sg/podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.